As we quickly approach the 250th birthday of the United States of America, we reflect on the countless contributions and remarkable individuals who have helped shape our nation's story. And our next guest is certainly one of those people indeed. Miss Kathryn Mitchell celebrated an incredible milestone, turning a smooth 105 years young yesterday, which is absolutely exciting. She's here to celebrate that special birthday with us and to reflect on the wonderful life that she's lived thus far. And she is joined by Linda Lamar, the executive producer of the documentary Rooted in Wisdom, the legacy of Miss Kathryn Lacy Mitchell. And that is currently in the works right now. Good morning to the both of you.
Good morning.
So glad to have you both here. Miss Kathryn, I'm coming to you first because you have lived through more than 4 decades of our nation's history. And so when you look back on your life, what has it been like to witness so much change in our country?
As the pastor said yesterday, the world has not changed. It's the people in the world that's changed. Mm-hmm. And that's what we would like to do, is help change not the world, but the people in the world.
Amen to that. Yes, indeed. Can you take us back to your childhood? You grew up in East Texas, is that right?
Right.
Tell me more about that. What was childhood like for you?
I love to talk about my childhood days, even though, as my son said, my Grandy, everybody called me Grandy.
Grandy.
Grandy, you know what? We were poor, but we didn't know it.
You had no idea.
Because everybody was the same. Mm. So let me start when I was a child. When I was a child, I didn't have a school in my community. The only thing I had is my granddaddy said, I'll give you some land for a church, a cemetery, and a school. And let me tell you, when I was 5 years old, I walked 5 miles to school every day.
Wow.
I mean, it wasn't bad, because we didn't know any better.
I was about to say, you didn't know any different.
We didn't know any different. And the white bus would pass us, and they would say, hello, hello, is that saying hot?
I can't imagine how you wrap your head
around that. And at that
that
time, walking 5 miles to school, it didn't seem that it was hot as it is hot. And sometimes the people would pass by. It's not like it is now. And they would pick us up and say, would you all like to ride, and whatever it is. Then after going 5 miles to school, as I told you, my grandfather gave us the land. We had a teacher to come from Tyler, which was about 3 or 4 miles. She had to make a fire. She had to bring wood in. Now, those white children, they had everything.
Times were different at that time.
Our books were so old until some of the pages were torn out of it.
Wow. But that teacher that you had actually inspired you, because you became a teacher yourself, an educator right here in Dallas. And so I would love if you could share, because she was a teacher during one of the most pivotal times in America, following the Brown versus Board education decision. And so what was that reaction? Because I know you got a reassignment letter when you went from teaching an all-colored school to then integrating into a white school.
I did. And as I said, when I went to Tyler, I started working. And the funniest thing, how I met my husband, he was, they had a park that the maid would take the children and and swing them or whatever it is. And the only way you could go to the park is Burkefield Park. I'll never forget it. And that is you had to be taking the children.
You had to be a nanny.
So my husband, my boyfriend then, he was out there mowing the yard while I was swinging the baby. As I said, they paid me 50 cents a day to take the baby and swim.
50 cents a day.
It was enjoyable. I guess the reason it was so enjoyable, I didn't know any better.
Exactly, and I think you keep coming back to that because that's just what the times were, and I think that's how you end up coping, especially in the long run here in Sight Now. I want to come to you, Miss Linda, because you have been working on this documentary, which is so exciting because Miss Kathryn, I mean, she's got 2 degrees from 2 different HBCUs. She's a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Incorporated, Sorority Incorporated, an educator, a civic leader. Why was it so important for you to make sure that you got her life on tape?
And I enjoyed my life.
You did.
I really enjoyed my life. And then after coming to Dallas, I started working at C.F. Carr Elementary School. And I never forget this, and I thought about it last night. Dr. Walker, which was a white superintendent then, and he told the principal, said, I need 3 black teachers out here.
And that's when you integrated into
and
Kramer.
I'm a person, I don't believe in being late. My son does, but I don't.
Not you putting your son on Front Street. I love it. Very good. Tell me why you wanted to get this out there.
Well, about 4 years ago, when I was screening a documentary that I had done on my father's voting experience, Mrs. Mitchell was in the audience, and during the Q&A, she just offered such profound comments. And I thought, she has so much wisdom. We need to capture her story. And so over the last 4 years, I have just worked to that end because so much history is lost. Mrs. Mitchell has been here over a century. She has so much information that young people, the next generation, can really benefit from.
Yes.
So I thought, why not? We need to put this in oral history, documentary form, so that it can be perpetuated through the generations.
Knowledge is power, absolutely.
Exactly.
Thank you guys for being here this morning, and a happy birthday to you one more time. And you guys, that documentary is going to be coming out soon, and we'll make sure that we have the website right there on your screen, dickersonCivicCenter.org/documentaries. You can find all the information on the documentary there. Thank you guys.
Thank you.